There, that felt really good. Okay.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of PoliticktickBOOM, where Alli and I talk all of the random stuff that's going on in Montana, and it's blowing up and it's blowing down.
Yeah, this is the race that never ends.
For the Senate. Ugh. God. Very much so. How's your week been?
It's been pretty good. Can't complain. It's busy. Busy with all the summer things, and I'm kind of excited. I do have some good news. We
Ooh.
are organizing the first ever lemonade crawl.
Okay.
So I think it's gonna be really cool.
What is that?
Yeah, okay. So I had this idea that wouldn't it be cool if we got groups of people together to go around and purchase lemonade from lemonade stands. Just go hunt them out and honor our little ones and buy a cup of lemonade for $1 or whatever.
Oh,
so
okay.
We're
That's much nicer than what I was thinking it was. I was thinking we get a bunch of razor blades on a street and we get a bunch of lemons and then we throw the razor blades at politicians and make them run across the lemons.
Well, that sounds like a felony. But okay. I mean,
probably, but also I think we could sell lots of tickets to watch.
I mean, we might be able to cover the legal fees. I'm just saying.
Don't know.
But I don't think there'd be enough left over for the commissary. So,
right. I don't know how much we get, but you know,
right?
That's actually really
it's got
cool.
a ring to it. That's for sure. What's that?
Do you have a lot of lemonade stands in Missoula these days?
Surprisingly enough, we do. Like, I drive around a lot and I see them all the time. And I think it's great because some of these kids are like super committed. There was one kid during the hottest time, he was out there all day. And he was just sitting there on his phone, just waiting for people to come by. And he obviously had sold some. I was looking at his picture and I was like, oh, there's some gone. But I'm just like, man. So I thought it would be kind of fun. So we're going to get a bunch of parents to get their kids together and do their stands. And then we're going to make a map. And then on this day from X time to X time, people can look at the map and they can go get their folks together and have fun traveling around buying some lemonade.
That'll be cool.
I think so. I want to do that, and then eventually I want to do a watermelon crawl. I think it'd be pretty fun.
That could be cool too.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, not right now when all the vegetables have diarrhea bugs on them, but
yeah, like you definitely can't eat at everybody's house. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, there's that moment where it's like, well, what's happening today?
Yeah.
Well, people started walking and then they were running funny.
You know, extra appendages have begun to grow, and they speak.
Yeah, it's whatever it is. So, without getting into sorry, folks, I am so tired. It has been a long, long week. I was just in Miles City working on a hotel. Super fun. Getting a bunch of phones fixed there.
Yeah, better you than me.
Yeah, well, in driving, the thing is, I don't mind driving across Montana when I'm going to see something that's fun, but when I'm just going to a hotel to fix it and then having to turn around and drive home, I'm like, less fun. Yeah. I would like to teleport. That's what I would like.
It'd be nice. How about that high-speed rail?
Exactly. That would be lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, things we could do to make the world better. High-speed rail, actual critical infrastructure, pay for education, like
what?
I know, right?
Yeah.
How odd. What an odd thing to suggest.
I think my head's going to fall off my neck.
But as far as like politics has gone, of course, there's still the pressure on Alli, and now there's pressure on Bodner, and that entire race is just filled with so many polls and so much vitriol and so many nightmares, and all the scenario. None of the scenarios are good, quite frankly. It's getting worse and worse and worse. But also, it's only 12 more days. Like literally, we're going to be done.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't feel like it's going to be done. I think that I feel like this isn't going to be done even after November. I feel like there's going to be repercussions for all of this. But more than anything, to me, one of the silver linings, I think, in this race, one of the things I was talking to somebody this morning that I appreciate about the shenanigans in this race is it's created a path for messaging around things that usually take a backseat to economics and like culture wars.
Hmm.
And so I have appreciated the ability to do that. I've appreciated the ability to point out, hey, this is bullshit. And this is why this is bullshit. Like this is what this concept means. And here's a great example of what that looks like in practice.
Yeah.
And so that's been nice.
Yeah, and I think it's been interesting as everybody's put it together. You've seen a bunch of people who are involved in politics start to get to the point where they realize that their voice matters and the things they're going to do and say matters both up and down the ticket. They may not be running, they may not even be sitting on a central committee or even be a precinct person. They could just be interested in politics, and they're starting to see that their voice has direct impact. And that's important for people to realize. Your voice matters. You may only have one vote, but your voice as we are determining who we're going to vote for as an electorate matters, because if you're engaged and involved and you're talking about people, people are going to hear it, and then they're going to say, oh, this is what I've heard, this is what I've seen, this is what I've talked about, this is who I've met, this is what's going on, this is how I'm voting. And that's a massive change from the past where everybody's just kind of like, well, I don't really do politics because my privilege protects me from it, so I spend more time discussing whether I'm having chocolate chip or raisins in my cookie. And let's be honest, I put raisins in it because I put raisins in my potato salad because I'm that white. You know,
I only put raisins in my cookies when I want a treat.
right? And for those
Otherwise,
people
it's
who
my
don't
daily fruit
understand that,
intake.
right, that oatmeal raisin cookies are delightful.
They're
Uh,
fucking elite.
right,
Elite.
you people have not lived. And I fully will admit that I love chocolate chip cookies. They are great, but oatmeal raisin are great as well. They are different, and that's okay.
Yeah,
Um,
well, and then, like when you're talking about an oatmeal cookie, like you cannot beat an oatmeal scotchy. Like
mm,
that is the pinnacle of wholesome cookie, like grandma style wholesome cookie.
I will have to agree. That's a pretty damn good cookie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that race is going on. We've got a couple other things that have happened. The Republicans have decided they want to have a flat tax for income.
Yes, I did see that, which, we knew that. I think we all knew that was coming, right? Because Gianforte's been talking about that for a long time.
Oh
And
yeah,
this is
they
just
keep
the session
eliminating
that he
brackets.
wants to go for it. What's that?
But they keep eliminating brackets, and so at this point in Montana, we only have two brackets anyway. So if you make up to $130,000 a year, that's the first bracket. Anything you make above 130,000 is taxed at a slightly higher bracket, and they're just going to eliminate the upper bracket and keep it all low for everybody all the way up and down the thing. And I'm like, I find that distressing and wrong, but I also have so many other issues with the tax stuff that's going on. It's just basically, if the Republicans want to touch any of the tax laws, you should just say no, because their intent is always just to make people with more money keep more money. And I'll say it again because it's the truth: money is like manure. If you do not spread it around, if it is not spread around, it is a pile of shit that causes disease and awful things. So it has to move around.
Well, and that's a great point, right? Because money is supposed to move.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to work. It's
Mhm.
not supposed to, in the circle of money, it's not supposed to stop here, take a bunch out, and then circulate, and then stop, and then take a bunch more out, and circulate, and then stop,
Right.
and then take a bunch more. That's
And
not how it's supposed to go.
these giant piles of money are causing problems, and that's exactly where we're at. I mean, you're seeing what's happening with the billionaires existing, companies approaching $1 trillion valuations, or they've got multiple hundreds of billions of dollars sitting around. No, money is supposed to be moving.
Well, I think the other part of that is a lot of times in the messaging, I think what gets lost because when people hear a flat tax, they hear tax cut, which everybody wants, right? Everybody wants to pay less in taxes. But what they don't hear is at what expense?
You know, everybody wants
What
to pay tax.
programs?
What
Yeah.
you really should want to do is have your taxes spent in a more efficient and useful way,
Yeah.
because I don't like taxes. I wish we didn't have a money-based economy. I wish our society wasn't capitalist. I really do. Once we get to the Star Trek thing where energy becomes matter and we can just, use the replicator to make a coffee and I don't have to do anything else, then yeah, it changes the game. It changes the whole thing. But until we get to that point, we're stuck with this. And if we're stuck with this, it should be done in a way that's most fair to most people. And that means that the people at the upper end who are not contributing 10,000 or 100,000 times what the average individual is contributing, and yet somehow they ended up with these giant stockpiles of money, they get taxed more because that money needs to go back in circulation. It needs to be moving around. Otherwise, we get in these situations where houses all of a sudden cost $500,000, but people are still getting paid a minimum wage that isn't anywhere near the actual minimum wage because the numbers that they're using are not correct because they've only been using the cost of groceries instead of the actual cost of things that you need to live. So,
and that's not counting how they've been cooking the books, right?
Right.
Like that doesn't count, none of that counts the circular financing, where the interesting thing about wealth hoarders is they hoard the perception of wealth more than the actual wealth. Because, they don't actually have a pile of cash anywhere. They have an idea of a pile of cash and they basically are jugglers. They're juggling all of these things around in the financial system to represent this pile of cash. And everybody just keeps going along with it until all of a sudden one drops.
Well, yeah, until
and then
somebody's
they're all done.
holding a pile. And I mean, that's one of the things that Elon just did with
Oh,
this
yeah.
Launch of SpaceX being a company because he absorbed all of his other companies into it. Mm-hmm. So the $40 billion that he was losing on Twitter is now a loss that's tied into SpaceX. And the way he got it done is he went on the NASDAQ and convinced them somehow, and I don't know how, this should be illegal, but he convinced them to list it as an index stock. So now almost everybody's 401ks and retirement plans are tied into the stock that is literally the biggest welfare queen we've ever seen.
Oh, man.
This is one of those things where it's not just fraud on the people, it's fraud on the public, it's fraud on the institution, it's fraud on such a massive scale. It should cause him to lose every single penny he's ever made times 10. Mm-hmm. And he should have to pay it all back. And I suggest we start him off working in those emerald mines all by his lonesome.
Hey, DR Congo, you're about to get a new... That's a terrible joke. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. That was awful. But yeah.
I was talking over you, so I didn't hear it.
That's okay. It's a good thing I didn't say that. I'm sorry. That was awful.
So there's that. Yeah. But yeah, flat tax is a terrible thing because it basically says that everybody's earnings are fair, and we know that's not true. If everybody's earnings were fair, flat tax would be fair.
Right.
But everybody's earnings are not fair. In fact, everybody's earnings are completely unfair in this particularly dark and stormy timeline that we live in.
Yeah, it's just going to be, it's just one more thing on the pile to fight against, right? And most of the time it feels like it's a losing battle. We're losing so many things, but we do win a lot. I will say that, we win a lot in the courts. It's just hard to register those wins because they're preservative instead of progressive,
Yeah, we've lost a lot too. Part of the problem that we've had is, for the last 50, 60 years, we've had a right-wing movement that has wanted to pull us back to the Dark Ages. And I don't understand these people. I don't know what it is they think they're going to get out of it when we go back to the Dark Ages because it's dark for everyone. Like, it's not like the people with money didn't face the darkness. The Medicis had a ton of money. They still got murdered in their sleep. Mm-hmm. Like it's amazing to me that these people have that sort of outlook. They're like, oh, we should go back to this thing that we know is terrible, but I would be at the top of the heap. Yeah, that sometimes just means you have a target painted on your back. And
well, if you want to sit on top of a pile of shit, that's your prerogative, but I wouldn't call it a mountain.
Right.
I wouldn't say the view is good.
And the smell.
For real.
Why does it smell like Trump up here?
Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's I will play a little bit of devil's advocate there, because this is also a conversation I had.
More advocates. The devil.
All right, no kidding. He's got Republicans. What does he need me for?
He's got all the lawyers. All the lawyers.
Yeah, fuck. But no, so Interestingly enough, I think it does bear mention though that the average person is so overwhelmed with shit that they don't have time to really understand those concepts. And that's not the right way to say that. It's not that they don't
I
understand the
think
concepts,
it's
they just don't have
engage,
time to pay attention to them.
engage with them. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people I know have, in the last couple of weeks, I've had some friends that are politics positive, but not, they're not carriers of the disease. They just have been infected with it at some point in the past.
Right.
Uh, and even they have leaned in. They're like, what is going on? And then you just explain it really quickly and they're like, oh, so it's more random circular firing squad bullshit from people who should know better. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And in pointing that out to people, these people that are somewhat involved but not deep in it, they're like, okay, so what should I do when the ballots come out? Who am I looking for? And I was like, well, I just told them straight up, this is one of those elections where you could just vote straight D down the ticket, because every single Democrat that's running is a better person than every single Republican that's running. There
Yeah.
is no Republican that I would pick over any of the Democrats running.
Yeah.
And that's simply because every single one of them have chosen to do things that actively destroy parts of our communities. Like a flat tax is going to reduce the revenue at the state level, which is going to cause cuts in services, because that's what they want to do. They don't want to help people. And these are people who on a regular basis tout very loudly. They trumpet with their horns very loudly what good Christians they are. And then they do absolutely nothing that Christ asked of them. And I'm not a religious person. Like, I have my spirituality, but it's my thing.
Mhm.
It has nothing to do with anybody else. But all these people who keep saying they are this thing, the louder you say it, the less I believe it, because I can see your actions.
Mhm.
So it's a
Well,
little.
and that's where we're coming down to, right? We're coming down to brass tacks where people can see. And when it comes to like the Republican candidates, Almi is a rubber stamp for Trump. Like straight up. There's nothing that he's going to do that's going to differentiate from the Trump agenda. So if you're a Republican or if you're an independent who is considering voting for Almi, you're basically just voting to continue the agenda, right? When you look at Aaron Flint, you can see even just the vile things he's had to say to play on the culture wars, right? He's got a long history of banking on culture war issues to gain popularity, and he's not strong on policy. He has no
Oh no,
real stances
there's
that
he
he'll
is.
stick to. He'll just
Oh,
blow in the wind like flag.
he exactly. He will be a rubber stamp for MAGA, and he constantly mentions my name and talks about how I'm one of the meanest people around because I stand up for my community, and I call him a bigot. If you don't want to be called a bigot, pumpkin,
Don't say bigoted things.
don't be a bigot. Like, it's not even don't say them, it's don't do bigoted things. You are a bigot. Your actions have defined you. That you
Yeah,
don't like that definition is not my problem.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, I mean, isn't that one of the things that we deal with a lot is that people don't want to be called the thing that they are. They want to do the thing, but they don't want to be called it.
oh yeah, they do not
And it
like me.
happens a lot. And I'm like, just own what you are, because that's why I'm like, just fucking say you're racist, dude. Like, just say it.
Right?
We all know, we can see it. We're not blind. You can
Yeah.
just say, "Yep, I'm racist," and then we can go from there, right? But the idea that these weird justifications for why, well, but it's not bigotry when I say it this way. Well, you
It
don't know
is.
that because you're not the effective class. You're not the person who's on the receiving end of that. So who are you to say whether or not that's bigoted?
Right. And that's something we all need to learn. I mean, hell, I've been guilty of that as well, where sometimes I'm
There,
just like, cannot be what someone says it is, and then you have to step back and go, okay, I guess it was. I was wrong.
there, yeah.
But that's part of being an adult and learning. Like, nobody expects you to be perfect. We do expect you to be kind. Nice
Well,
is
and
not
the other part of that too is like, how do you come out of that, right? Like, you can't come out of that and you can't grow if you don't acknowledge what's happening. Like, you have to be sitting in front of the truth. You have to work with what's actually there if you're going to grow as a human being.
Yeah.
There have been times when I have held bigoted views, when I was young and drunk and stupid and just towing daddy's party line and
Yeah,
all of
well,
these
okay, I'll give you
things.
that last one, but young, drunk, and stupid. You can't blame youth. You can't blame alcohol, and you can't, and you're not stupid. So, but you can blame being
But I
taught wrong.
was then. But I
Yeah,
was then,
I
and
would
that
say
was a
I don't think
product
you
of
were
my
stupid.
environment.
I would say you were ignorant. There's a fundamental.
Um,
We have a lot of stupid people out there. Choose
Uneducated.
to
Let's put
be.
it that way. Uneducated and
Oh,
uninterested in being educated.
yeah,
Uneducated, uninterested in becoming informed. Right?
yeah.
Let's put it that way.
That's what we have right now is a bunch of people that see Trump and they're like, he's just as dumb as I am, so I don't have to learn anything. I can just be a terrible person, say it out loud, and nobody's gonna say anything to me because I got a gun and I got two teeth.
One and a half.
Uh,
That's terrible. We're
but
going to
it's
hell for
true.
that one.
Well, I got a condo by the lake of fire. It's fine.
There you go.
Yeah.
You'll have a killer tan. That's funny. But yeah, no, that's the whole thing is that, people can grow and people can learn and people can become informed. And when they do, like, here's the other part of that conversation. This is the part that I kind of wanted to touch on is that coming out of that can be difficult when you deconstruct because now you have to face your accountability for the way that you were. And that's hard. It
Is
is
it
hard
though?
to face. Yes, it's very hard because there's a lot of guilt about it, right? Once you know, then you feel extremely guilty and you're like, oh my God, I must hide my face. These people are going to hate me and they have every right to, right? But
And I see that differently. And my piece of advice that I would give to anybody who's on the verge of coming out of whatever conservative bullshit that you've been trained in, that you've been spouting, that you've been dealing with, we don't care for your shame. We care for your knowledge. We care for your apologies. We care for your future actions. And your future actions where you say, yep, I was fucking wrong, and here's what I'm doing to fix it, make all the difference in the world. Uh,
that's
so
right.
don't pull a grift. We don't want to see it. But if you're going to stand there and say, you know what, I learned this thing. I was wrong. I was wrong. I have learned. I will do better. Here's me doing better. And it's that
Mhm.
last step that here's me doing better. I don't want your guilt and shame. I want your actions that make things better. I want you to correct the things that were
Mhm.
done wrong in your name.
And I'm here to tell
And
you, it is
sometimes,
so much fun to be an accomplice. It is so much fun. I am
oh yeah,
having the greatest time just finding new ways, right? To be like, that's dumb. You shouldn't be. You want to run that by us again? Like, I'm just having so much fun with it. It is so much fun to be an accomplice.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
And the other thing is, we bitch a little bit about politics, but the truth of the matter is, we're only engaged because we care.
Mhm.
And we also have a lot of fun. Like most of the times when we're doing political stuff, we're having fun. We're meeting new people. We're talking about how we're going to make things better. We're, gathering support, gathering ideas, talking about philosophy, moving the needle, and doing all those things that everybody actually really cares about. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, you see us on the show where we come in and we've got topics that we want to bitch about because we know that they're going to be things that people want to hear about. They're the dumpster fire du jour. However, there are plenty of times where, the most exciting thing in politics is, hey, we were in a parade. We've done parades now in Helena and East Helena in the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. And we just get together. So it's all of the candidates in the area. We did the East Helena Rodeo Parade. We did the Last Chance Stampede, and we're going to do Pride. And it's super fun to have the Democrats all get together. Tia Nelson brings out her giant truck, which is roughly the size of the moon, and it's got hay bales on it. And so we put all of our signs into the hay bales, and then we walk behind the truck all the way up and down Main Street or Last Chance Culture, whatever. And it's all the Democrats. So the first time we did it in East Helena, Jamie brought her speaker and we put on the soundtrack to Hamilton and we sang the musical all the way down Main Street. It was super fun.
There you go.
I still know most of the words. Also happy. And then when we were doing the Helena one, we started out with Hamilton, and then Jacob Miles, candidate for Lewis and Clark County Commissioner, which is a nonpartisan race, but he is very much Democrat, just so you know who to vote for. He's delightful, but he's like, can we put on something better? And we're like, yeah, you pick it. And he put on early 2000s girly pop, which was amazing.
Let's friggin' go.
Right? So all of us are dancing along to Britney and Christina and Madonna, and I'm like,
Oh, baby, baby, I wasn't supposed to know.
close.
I'm just saying, like, girl needs a vocal coach, or like, is she
She doesn't
okay?
need a vocal coach. It was just everybody
Stop
was.
smoking.
We'd like it to sound like vocal fry.
I don't know. It was not for me. Yeah, I don't know. I do like it though because it is kind of fun. And a fun fact: I've never seen Hamilton,
Really?
not even
It's on
once.
Disney.
I know. I don't watch TV though.
Fair
I
enough.
moved into my place 8 months ago, and I haven't even plugged the TV in.
Fair
I don't
enough.
even know if it works. It sat
Um,
in storage for
went
8 years.
speaking of great stories that have lasted millennia, I went to Hades Town at the movie theater this last
Mhm.
weekend. Hadn't
Mhm.
been to a movie in a long time. My friend Tim was like, "We have to go see Hades Town." I'm like, "Yes, we do." I didn't even know it was playing. He's like,
What
"Yeah."
is it? Tell me about it.
So Hades Town is the story of Orpheus and Eurydice told over a story of Hades and Persephone.
Oh,
And it's a really, really cool imagining of the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. It is, and Hermes is the guide through it. It is a spectacular musical. It's really, really cool. It's heart wrenching.
mm-hmm.
I mean, that story is always heart wrenching. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's it is the story of, do I trust you? Can I trust it in this time of great need, where I have a very specific thing to prove I trust you? Will I be able to do it? And the answer is no, because you're human. You're
Right.
gonna, but uh, but it ends with, yes, this story has failed, and we still tell this story. It is important we tell this story, and this story is an important part of life.
Well, and you could pair that next to the Odyssey. I'm hearing good things about the Odyssey also.
I am too, and I'm not a fan of the Odyssey. I read that in
Me
high
either.
school. I
I'm
don't know
like,
if it was the translation that we had, or just that I thought, you know, you are in the Mediterranean. I've been in that sea. It's not that big. Like, figure out your sextant and find home. It's not that
yeah,
hard.
row, bitch. You know,
Like, this is your job. You captain a boat. Do you not
right?
know how to sail? So that's a little
It's like they
disrespectful.
forgot to pull anchor, and they're like trudging along.
Exactly.
Oh, I should have. My bad, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, and then I got on this island and I just decided to stay here for 20 years. Hello.
Right. Right.
But it is also one of those stories that is kept around forever because it does capture your imagination. There are definitely parts of it that are really cool, but overall, I was never a huge fan of it.
Yeah.
But I haven't been to see it yet. But my friends who've gone to it have said it's amazing, and it's
Yeah.
also one of those. I guess Nolan did most of the effects as practical effects, so they're in camera, and it was shot on IMAX, and so it's on giant, like, the frame of film is huge,
Yeah.
and so it's like, okay, well, that's cool. I definitely want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I just haven't had time to go to the movies. I mean, I've got Pride going on, I've got my work going on, I've got the campaign going on, and
I've been working a shit ton of overtime and then trying to keep up with everything. I'm like, oh fuck this, dude. Like I'm so tired. And I think maybe it's just summer and there's just a lot going on. But yeah, it's been crazy and I'm at the point where I need a break. So I was like, the last couple of days I've just kind of hung back a little bit. I'm like, I think I'm gonna take a break.
fair.
Yeah.
And that's, it's a good time. The other thing is, it's so hot. This is the part of summer where everybody's like, oh, I just want to go to the lake. I want to hang out with my friends. I do not want to talk politics. I don't want anything to be the top of mind for everybody. I just want to enjoy my day. And I get that. I mean, I think politics, one of the things that we need to look at with politics is like, hey, yes, you could talk about politics anytime, but we should have our filing should be in September. Campaigning is October. Elections are November. Done. If we needed to do it, I mean, honestly, if we really needed to do it so that it's with a primary, we'd file in August. Primaries are mid-September. General is, in November, so you have all of October to do it. Done.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. I
We
agree. Like they
we
should
don't need
totally
2-year campaigns. People don't need to be. In fact, it should be, if you are not an elected official, you don't get to talk about politics. And if you are an elected official, you get to talk about the things you're doing and nothing else. You don't get to campaign. you can have town halls, but they cannot be closed in any way. So you can't just limit people going in. And you can't just do telephone town halls. You have to actually meet the people. And that's it.
Well, that eliminates the Republicans.
Well, sad, if they're not going to do their job.
Oh, they won't come home without calling the cops first. Did you see that out of Great Falls? I was like, oh God,
No,
how
what happened?
dumb. I didn't read the whole story because I was like, oh, these fucking drama queens. Troy Downing, dipshit Downing, called the Capitol Police saying that one of his constituents threatened him from Cascade County, I believe it was, Great Falls area.
Okay.
Saying that he was going to be held accountable. He's going to have to come home and be held accountable for his votes at some point. And he took that as a threat, dangerous threat, and called the Capitol Police, who called the Cascade County sheriffs, who then visited this person's house, which was recorded, and said, well, we know that you didn't do anything wrong, but this is what was said.
So it sounds like Troy Downing has a problem with the First Amendment.
He's kind of weak. I'm just saying that kind of. He's a lot.
Yes, just shut up.
He's just scared. Like, he's just a scared person. And like, I've had one interaction with him online, and it was really weird because he didn't. It's like, this is the part, the megalomania of it all. Like, gets me with these super wealthy people. Like, they don't understand that there are people out here that don't uphold the hierarchy and that are actually struggling, right, under their decisions. And so when they get even a little bit of pushback, they're like, what? I don't know why you're treating me like this. I don't understand why you're acting like this to me. This is terrible. And I'm like, oh, huh. And so it's really weird to me when I see the whole, the whole expectation of hierarchy, that money bias, and I'm like, you guys live in such a bubble that the instant you step out of the bubble, they're freaked out and they're scared of it. And I'm like, you're scared to answer to the people that you're screwing over so that you can have your little bubble. You're scared of that? Oh,
hi, Cari.
Hey, what's up today?
Worst lady ever. I totally forgot it was Wednesday. I suck. I apologize. I am like the worst. Here's the thing. For like years, I cannot get my Google Calendar to work. You know what I'm saying? And so like I have to remember to a 48-year-old brain about my appointment. So I apologize.
Oh, you're fine.
What are you guys talking about?
We were just talking about Troy Downing and how he called the Capitol Police on that one lady in Cascade County and had the sheriffs go out and visit her to try and intimidate her because she's like, at some point you're going to have to come home and be accountable for your decisions.
That Troy Downing, he's untouchable because we never have a good candidate against him. But man, that man needs a good Democrat against him. Like I'm talking a Democrat that balls of steel Democrat.
He'd be an easy takedown, I think.
When he ran first, you know who was in the primary on the Democrat side when he ran?
Wasn't it you?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say that's where I met you.
And you want to know who the boomers fucking voted for?
The billionaire.
Downing.
Not me. No, I didn't even make it past the primary. They voted for John Driscoll, who said he was
wasn't gonna raise money. I was so pissed about that one. Yep. Now I remember that one. Yeah. That pissed me off to no end. And then he went on an interview and he goes, yeah, I'm just not going to work. I'm not going to raise money, but I am the Democratic candidate.
Yeah.
Way to go, Yellowstone Democrats. Shine on. Jeez.
Well, they didn't. He comes to be clear. He lives in Helena. It's worse. It was the Lewis and Clark Democrats.
Oh, but, well, you can have them then.
Yeah, instead of a beacon on a hill, it's a match on a mountain
for like the deposit.
No, We already have Driscoll problems here in Yellowstone County. I don't need more.
Hey, can I share with you the greatest moment in my campaign so far?
Oh my God, please do.
Okay, so I get this email. I'm not going to say who it's from, but I will tell you it's a boomer. I received a campaign email on July 17th, 2026 that I'm commenting on. Your campaign logo seems to me to be a trademark infringement on a Hamm's beer product logo. In my opinion, that borrowed visual is not a good look on your campaign. I replied with, it isn't. Thanks for checking in, though, Kev. Immediate reply. Dear sir, thanks for your reply. That was a rather abrupt response to my comments to you. Even if it's not trademark infringement, the appearance of impropriety is not a good look for a political campaign, brackets, in my opinion, close brackets. I replied with, ma'am, there's nothing that bothers a boomer more than being dismissed, is there? Do have the day you deserve. They replied,
You know what?
oh, wait,
That is exactly how I would be.
It gets better. Hold on. Hello, sir. Just wow. All caps. That is an amazing response. The day I deserve does not include receiving a condescending email from a politician. 2 exclamation points. No further reply from you is necessary. 1 exclamation point. And I replied, because it's me, I replied, and yet you have one, if only to clarify that my prior response was dismissive. This one is condescending. As you are apparently too far up
I adore
to understand when you've been dismissed, let me be clear. Your opinions are not facts, and the world will be far better off when more of your generation learns that. Get therapy. Amazingly, I haven't heard a response from them.
That is how I would be if I was a candidate.
That's how you have to be. Because here's the thing. There are so many people out there right now, especially people older than me, who think that their opinion is the most valuable thing in the fucking world. And when they share it with you, if you do not immediately pick it up and hold it up as if it is both Simba on the top of Pride Rock and a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow combined together to be the best thing on the fucking planet, then you, sir, are a ridiculous human being and must be slaughtered. That is how they think.
Well,
and I have no
of all the things to complain about, right? Like, this is the shit where I don't like the color of the carpet in your house, so I'm not going to vote for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think that your curtains.
I'm sorry, your curtains don't match your drapes. 1, I'm not sure what exactly you're talking about, and 2, I'm disturbed that you're looking at my curtains and drapes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it's those kinds of things drive me nuts.
Here's the thing. That is the sort of petty bullshit that we deal with as candidates that drives me up a fucking wall. If you're going to take the time to reach out to a candidate, reach out about something substantive. I do not have the time to explain to you that my last name, without the possessive S, has nothing to do with Hamm's beer. It doesn't matter that it's in red in a calligraphy font. They don't own that. Mine is at a curve. Theirs is possessive S flat. Theirs actually says Hamm's beer always on it. Mine does not, because mine is my goddamn name. That's why it says Kevin Ham. Get it to fucking together. So it's just one of those things where it's like you're wasting everyone's time. And the fact that you think that it's a critical discussion is why we are in the predicament that we're in. Because every one of these people have been involved in politics, and every one of these people have fucked it up because they've been so worried about their appearance and not the actual
Or they're like, I'm going to split hairs and not vote for so-and-so because of this. Or they're so Trumper-like with the plant that you can't break through. I just had to throw that in there.
Because you wanted me to say something. That feels like a trap, Cari. That's a trap.
It's not a trap for you. I was gonna imagine that shit happens when it's on Facebook, and I am brutal on Facebook. Do not come for me thinking that you're gonna put me in my place, especially over something so stupid. Do you know what I mean? And I don't. Do you guys know what's her name? Annie something on. I'm like, I don't care if you got what?
Annie Montani?
Yeah. No idea who she is, but man, she is like, woo! She is a bank header. That's what I call them now, bank headers. It's good, huh? I should trademark it.
I don't have to defend Alani. She's out running her campaign. Bodner's out running his campaign. Vote for who you want. I don't give a
shit. No, it's not about you. Trust me. It's not about you. I'm in a spicy mood, and the plan has pissed me off.
I think the plan is Bodner. And it kind of looks like what? How
Bodner has the money. You can't be the plan and the money. Bodner's the golden egg. Bodner's the golden egg. He's the one who's going to receive all the goods. She's the plant because she's the one who can't even raise money.
Well, okay. I mean, if that's how you're going to define it, I just define it as she's actually, a new Democrat, new to running a race and a Democrat.
Here's my question. If someone called you a patriot and you're at a Democrat meeting, wouldn't you be like, what the fuck? I mean, you all would. You all would.
It would definitely have a moment where I'm checking the context real hard. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, that made me giggle when I heard that.
What did you hear?
That a certain candidate went in front of a room in Missoula and called them all patriots. And I was like, oh, I love that.
Mm.
It's almost like someone grew up in that world and hasn't been able to imposter that side out of her yet. She's got to do better on that side. She's got to do more work.
Okay. Well, I will open up the comedy show by calling people, queers. So, because I reclaim a language, but that's a whole different story.
That's a whole different story.
It is. How are things? So, can you answer a question for me? I actually do have one for you.
Yeah.
Cari. The petition that's going on in Yellowstone and what the county commissioners are doing. I guess it's two questions because there's the petition.
Those motherfuckers. So I'm very happy.
Buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up. Here we go. Look, I put up my speech. I screamed at them yesterday, and I'm proud of myself. Just one Montanan, we're not gonna do this nice. You fuck with our Montana, we fuck back. And guess what? You're not going to get the, oh, hi, how are you? You're going to get the fuck you, so you could fuck out of our state, and here's what we want. And that's what the county commissioners got yesterday. So what's happening with the petition, and I'm going to say this, Brian Miller, because you won't return a phone call, but you already told someone else this. So according to Brian Miller, he said that the reason Quantica, so what had happened was they started this initiative. The county commissioners went to the county attorneys in one of the county meetings and said, hey, county attorneys, we want you guys to test this. We think that the language is wrong. We want you to test it. And that means sue. It's a nicer word for sue. And so they sue Cassie. And I want to give a lot of credit to Cassie. That woman is all passion and all heart, and she will follow anyone into that fire. And unfortunately, she followed some morons into this one. So they sued Cassie. They sued Brian Miller because Brian Miller is acting, I guess, as her attorney, and he had a lot to do with the language. And then they sued Quantica. Well, Brian Miller told someone today that the reason that they brought in Quantica was because Quantica has the bigger, better lawyers than the county would. So the county is actively working with Quantica to go after a private citizen. Let that sink in.
Yeah, no, that's going to break my brain.
Yeah. They added Quantica as a way to get to Quantica's lawyers. How fucking dare they? I think that is incompetency, and I think that is misconduct of office. And guess what, motherfuckers? Those are both two callable reasons that I will be fucking using.
Yeah, I mean, they're putting themselves in a really bad place.
And the poor guy, Chris Wright, he just got appointed, right? Because John Oslin passed away last year. And he just got appointed. He seems to be a good guy. And I think he's just kind of like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm going to trust the other two. Right. But what I wanted to say to him, and I'm hoping he listens, Chris, I don't want to vote for Danny. I don't want to have Danny in the Yellowstone County Commissioners. Danny would be very scary. So Chris, if you want to be the people's hero, give me a call. Because here's the thing. I followed up even before I went to that podium. I followed up with an email. I said, Cari Olson, follow up. Here's my phone number. Here's my email address. Looking forward to hearing from you. And what do you bet I don't get a call? As per usual with these three. So what's happening is they're in the middle of this lawsuit. They've got 2 more weeks on this signature gathering. The people want the petitions. Let's be very clear here. It is not hard to get people to sign these petitions. It is one of the easy, and I've been a signature gatherer a couple times in my life for different issues, and this is the easiest issue to get people to pull over for. It is the easiest issue to get that signature for, and they know that. And that's why they stopped this. But Cassie, like I said, all heart, all warrior, she ain't stopping. She's still collecting signatures. I stopped because I'm like, look, I don't want to get people's information and then have it be no good. When I'm in front of a person, I want it to be a real thing. You know, I want it to be like, here's the recall. Yes, let's do recalls. This initiative, because exactly, the initiative goes too far. It says existing data centers and that they would have to go back up on the ballot. So now you're talking the hospitals, the schools, blah, blah, blah. That one guy at the platform convention kept saying, Kev.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you're talking those would have to go back up on the ballot for the people to vote on. What? I've never heard of that in my life. Even I, not one lick of law school in my bones, knows that you can't go to a business that's already existing and say, well, now it's time for the people to vote on you. Let's see if you survive. Way to go, Brian Miller and Jeff Edmonds. Way to go.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I just find it supremely weird that we have a situation where we have public servants suing constituents over a petition because they're afraid that it'll go through.
Yeah.
If the people that voted for you are telling you they want something and they're getting enough signatures to go through the process, like, anyway, I could go off on that, but it's like, whose back pocket are you in?
Our public comment was 2.5 hours at 3 minutes each. People are pissed. And they made some great points. I need to cut way more people, speeches. But yeah, it took forever to get through that public comment. And then you know what they did after public comment? They justified their actions in the most weirdest way ever, which they broke the Robert Rules of Order, right? It's not really breaking it, but it's uncouth. Like, you shouldn't do this. But he called up the attorney, the county attorney assistant, and had him explain the 2019 policy that supposedly just sparked all this. Like, oh, I just happened to go through the files of 2019 and I found this. We should apply this to all county buildings. And everyone in the room. And what they wish with that sound system is you could hear us going, oh, come on, give us a break. I mean, they didn't get a break yesterday. Those guys had a very, very rough meeting, as they should.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what community and civil engagement is, right? Like, that's the whole point of the process is when things like this come up, we collectively as the community have to get involved and we have to make the time to show up. And I am so happy to see so many people doing that so much more now than they have in the past. There is a lot more engagement civilly, which is great. And Kevin and I were talking earlier about how a lot of people are really now starting to understand that their voice matters, that their voice actually counts. You don't just have a vote, you also have a voice, and it matters. And so we're seeing an influx of people using their voice. I have noticed on social media a lot. Now we've got a lot of people who are finally stepping in front of the camera. And they're starting to talk to people, most notably, and I just laugh at it myself, but it's the AFL-CIO has started to consistently post now their videos.
Oh,
and I'm
really?
Like, oh, no, you want to do social media.
They all block. I was told yesterday by one of the organizers for MCV that I've been blocked on everything. And I'm like, oh, come on, guys, already?
Yeah.
You're swarming up.
Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but I wear blocking as a badge of honor.
Oh,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Way to go, Alli.
Yeah. There was one time what did Troy Downing put up a picture of he was doing something with a cow, and I was like, oh, I thought you only blew orange. And he said, haha, funny. He actually responded. I was like, yeah, I'm pretty cool.
He was doing something with a cat. Well, he did major in animal husbandry until they caught him at it.
Oh,
No, come on. Wait a minute. What?
It's a joke. It's a joke.
I was going to say, I was like, oh my God.
sorry. We had someone drive
Sorry.
by our house and we like never have that. So it kind of caught me off guard. So I apologize.
Oh, you're good.
You know how you have to stare and be like, what are you doing? Wait, hi.
Yeah, you got to get
You go through all those emotions.
Like, who are you? Why
Yeah.
are you here? Yeah.
So you guys will love this. So I'm walking out of a restaurant yesterday, business meeting restaurant, by the way. And I run into Jess fucking Peterson. And I have to look. I'm like, is that
Hold on. For the people at home, who is Jess Peterson?
He is the chair of the Billings Chamber of Commerce. He is the guy that is, he's got a ton of money from the stockholders, cattlemen, farmers, ranchers, businesses. He sells himself on the Chamber of Commerce side is like, I'm just the all around cowboy, all hat, no cattle. But he has a PR firm, public relations firm, and it's called Western Sky Strategies. And guess what? Oh, their client is Quantica.
Oh.
So Jess and I have a very hate love relationship. And so I saw him yesterday and I
So you
just
hate him, you hate him, you hate him, you hate him, and you love to hate him?
Yes. Yes, I'm glad you got that. Yes.
I thought for sure it was that you hate him and he loves you for it.
Oh man, it was really funny. I had a guy come in from Oregon. No, and so he saw us in action, me and Jess going at each other one time. And he's just standing in the middle of us and he goes, you guys really are besties. And it made us both like laugh, like, oh, okay. There's something about me that I get mediocre men to just go off. It's a so anyway, laugh
in a restaurant.
Oh my restaurant with this woman.
One of them like bar type restaurants where it echoes,
Oh, it did. Yeah, it was Spitz downtown. Oh, it was so funny. I was like, Jess Peterson sucks. And it just made me feel like you're so Generation X.
Cari, we both are. And we should not be allowed out in public without hose water.
I know. Listen, my bar yesterday with my husband was don't get arrested. I didn't get arrested. Bar completed.
Right? I have risen above your very low expectations of me.
Well, you don't say very low expectations. You just say your expectations of me. You can't, not when it comes to the husband. You got to always make sure that, you don't realize that there's low expectations. Because he's going to bring me bail money.
Right.
Fair.
Right.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, kids, it's been a great conversation. And, Cari, I did have one other question for you really quick. I'm sure this is still 5 minutes. The county commissioners there are trying to limit public speaking and the ability to collect signatures?
Yes, so they're doing it on the Metra. So the Metra is our fairgrounds. It's where we go to our concerts. Just a quick point. Mark Moses wanted to use this Metro Park Fairland for a CC camp, immigration camp, and we fought him, and he backed down. But that's like the level of thinking here, right? So you'll turn our Metro into that, and then what they wanted to do is they wanted to put us in a freedom speech area. And have us collect signatures there and just put a ton of rules on it. We'd have to go to their office and ask for permission. And then they said, well, no, it's not asking for permission. You just have to let us know you're coming. Fuck you.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that every politician should know, and I say it for myself as well. The voters are coming.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't think that's a good thing, maybe you should change what you're doing so the voters don't hate you.
Yep.
Well, what the fuck is this? This is a goddamn fucking what is it? College campus in what, 2023?
Exactly. Oh, and one more thing I gotta bring up before
the fuck is that shit?
Exactly. One more thing I got to bring up before I get cut by Kev. Fucking Senate Bill 212 is coming into play. And that's why Quantica's starting to play this same game. Because Daniel Zolikoff is working with Quantica. He's been up at their
Now,
office before. He's a
what does
senator out of
212
Billings.
do?
Senate Bill what?
Senate Bill 212, the right to compute. And what's in that bill, and this is also, again, why they brought in Quantica lawyers, is so that they could bring up Senate Bill 212. Senate Bill 212 says that
Ooh, Cari, you froze.
The
Senate Bill 12
right
says,
Very suspicious.
Man.
I'm just saying.
to stop. Did it break up?
what?
You have
Sorry.
to re-say
So
all of that. It all cut out.
Yeah, you
Okay, hold
cut
on.
out completely, Cari.
I'll cliff note it. Senate Bill 212 by Daniel Zolikoff, who has no one running against him, and you have till August 5th to do a write-in campaign for his Senate district. Please do. He put up a Senate Bill 212, and that is where it limits the right of government to stop data centers. That's one of the clauses it does. And when he was going through talking about this in the session, that was never mentioned. That motherfucker never mentioned that. So all these people, and it passed the Senate 50 to 0 on the second and third reading. So yes, you had Democrat senators voting yes on this fucking thing that is now biting us in the ass here in Yellowstone County.
Interesting.
But those bills were rushed through before we knew anything about data centers. weren't they?
Exactly. No, exactly. And the only reason I know this is because I just went back to what I know, right? When I found data centers, I was like, well, shit, I know the session. I want to see how they sold this. I want to see how these fucking things got sold. And I want to see like the talking points, and I want to see the votes. So I sat down and I watched every committee. And if you go to the beginning of like January on my pages, I posted them, and I'll repost them. But yeah, I went through every committee, every bill. There was 4 that I went through.
Well, I have an interesting bit to add on to that before we wrap up, because you'll enjoy that. There was a Democrat that was in that race, Lyle Hedden or something, I believe is his name. Yeah, Lyle Hedden, Hedden. Here's the thing. He was in that race. He got dropped because of a technicality, but because he was in there and registered, and he was registered as a Democrat, the Democratic Party can replace him. The county party needs to get together and vote on the replacement, get him in there. We don't need to do a write-in ballot. We can replace the candidate on the ballot.
Cari fucking Olson.
If you wanted to do it, Cari, do it. Step up. You'd have to go talk to Melissa Smith.
Where's my air horn? Pew, pew, pew.
But it would be
Always a
fun.
candidate, never the legislator, Melissa Smith.
Well, you could do the candidate too, and you could be in there, and then you get to be pushing farther from the left. We need all sides. So you could do that. But otherwise, a friend of mine,
That's the problem.
As I told, a friend of mine is considering doing the write-in, but I think we can get him on the ballot specifically, which would be great. So,
Hey, I like this. This sounds like treachery. I'm in.
right?
You're going to
But
come knock doors if I do this.
Yeah.
Girl, I will spend my vacation on this. I will cancel my vacation in October to do this.
All right. I think
Feels
we
good in
should
the
just-
soul.
Ooh, actually, next week we won't have a show because it's the middle of Pride.
That's right.
Times are changing. Everybody's in, so we're going to skip next week. We will be back the week after, and it will be great because we will know the final ballots at that point because it'll be after August 10th. We will know everybody that's in. We'll be able to give you a rundown of what's happening statewide. It will be awesome. And
I will see who dropped and didn't drop, you pieces of shit.
yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, I thank everybody for joining us this week. It's been great fun, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks,
Bye, guys. I love-
everybody.